in about 10 or so hours right now. Daley, you've been keeping up with this, I know. What are your thoughts, man? I want to know how you think the fight goes, and I want to think who you think comes out with his victory.
Well, intriguing fight. Jake, first of all, despite what anyone from the professional boxing scene thinks of him, me being one of them in the beginning.
I know, I saw that smile. I saw that little cheeky smile. So, yeah. I mean, I was the same way, bro. I was the same way. We all were, kind of, to a degree.
You can't knock, the way he goes about his business. It's phenomenal, the way he promotes.
Yep.
And the way he markets himself and builds fights. He's a true businessman. He's like the Floyd Mayweather of the YouTube world.
Yeah.
As in promotion.
Yeah.
So I commend him for that. He's done a good job, and it's got him to this point. I just feel like now he's backed into a corner, as in like he can't carry on fighting, like a basketball player or an old ex-MMA fighter. He's now backed into a corner where he has to show people that, he's serious and he can stand in there with a professional boxer. Now, Tommy Fury, I personally don't rate him highly.
Okay.
But I feel he has enough fundamentals and the knowledge from being in boxing since a kid, being a Fury.
Yep.
And I think all those things will have enough to beat Jake Paul. This is my opinion, what people have to realize is Tommy is a reality star.
Mm-hmm.
He's got money. This probably be his biggest check, but he's got money. So the fights he's had before, some people, especially if you're a Tommy reality star, if you're sleeping in silk sheets, you're not really going to get up for those fights that he was in against, like journeymen.
Right.
He's not going to get up for those fights. He can win those fights in first gear, with not really looking good.
Right.
But I think for the first time in his life, he's under pressure. Now, it's either he's going to fold under that pressure or he's going to rise to that pressure and to the occasion. I personally think he's going to rise to the occasion, and he's going to up the levels. And he's got the Fury name that he cannot let down.
This is true.
He cannot let down. He's got Tyson Fury, the world's best heavyweight. He's got his dad, the way his dad talks about his sons. He can't let that name down. He's got the professional boxing community flying the flag for us.
Yeah.
So I think now is the time that he's come out of those silk sheets and he's put himself in a training camp and put himself right in the trenches.
Yeah.
And really focused and really disciplined himself for this fight. As he said, Tommy Fury's been away from his partner.
Yep.
And he's newborn as well. So that just shows you how seriously he's taken it. I personally think if Tommy Fury sticks to the fundamentals, behind the jab, behind the simple shots like the 1-2.
Yep.
Maybe if he gets closer, a right uppercut, left hook, go down to the body, but not overdo it. I think he'll get Jake out of there. Like he says, within the 4 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
If the occasion gets to him and he starts steaming forward and making it into a brawl type fight, that's when it could play into Jake Paul's hands. I think that's Jake Paul's only hope, is if the occasion gets to Tommy Fury and he starts unloading and going in those close quarters in not an intelligent way, but a wild way, and then that will play into Jake Paul's hands.
That's what you worry about, man, especially with all that energy on stage, Tommy barking at Jake, flexing on him, doing the whole thing, and just you can see he's in a moment now where, like you said, he's either going to rise or he's going to shrink. And that doesn't just mean that Tommy just shrinks behind the jab and just stays on the outside. That might actually be better for him early on. But the mental capability to handle the moment and be able to implement a game plan, not just, okay, we're fighting, let's go. You know, it's just straight on the front foot and walking on to something big, because Jake will absolutely sit down on shots. And he's been in that situation enough to know, dude, if stuff gets crazy, I can duck and chuck, and one of these bad boys is going to land. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no,
That's
I agree
what
with you. I agree with you. I think that's perfect. I think what you're saying is a perfect game plan, right? Be able to implement patient pressure, the long shots, the straight shots. For God's sakes, you know this about Kenny. The guy's got an abnormal reach. Fucking use that jab, dude. Good Lord have mercy. Guy's built like a fucking trailer. He's wide as fuck. So I agree with you. I think that Tommy, if he's patient in the early rounds, can definitely – this thing can get out of hand quickly if he's on his jab and he's on point. It can get out of hand quick.
Yeah.
But if he walks on and wants to, you know, like you said, make it rough with Jake and make it ugly, Jake's like, cool, I'll get muddy like the pig I am. You know what I mean? We'll go down and play in the mud. We can do that.
Yeah.
So
because it's to me, it's not rocket science. Fundamentally, Tommy Fury has the better fundamentals of a boxer. You know, Jake, yes, he's progressed. You know, he's had some good performances, but also
you can see it. You can see it though, Daley. You know this. You can see it. You can see the difference in the levels as far as just, you know, pure Western Marcus of Queensberry boxing. You can see Tommy's footwork. He's light on his feet. He understands where to throw his jab, where he's safe and where he isn't. There's stuff that Jake still struggles with, being a little flat-footed, overextending a bit on his stuff. And there's stuff that Tommy just knows inherently a little bit more of. That's not a bad statement or one that's crazy. That's just, you can see it.
Yeah. And you know, Jake, I've seen in his fights that, you know, some of them he stayed on the outside. Yeah. You know, moving a lot and trying to jab on the outside, but you know, he's not doing it in a way where it's like, you know, like an experienced boxer does it. You know, so I just think if Tommy Fury just has to keep his head and not think, oh, I need to knock him out.
Yep. Because
if he starts getting in his head, I need to knock him out, that's when it can fall apart. It's a bit like how Teofimo Lopez against Kambosos.
Yep.
You know, if they were to fight again, Teofimo hands down will beat Kambosos. But because it was in his head, planted in his head, that Kambosos is easy and I need to knock him out to show everyone, you know, look what happened. He ended up losing the fight, you know, and he made Kambosos look better than he is. And Kambosos is good, but what I mean is Teofimo Lopez is on a higher level, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he made Kambosos on the same level, come to the same level as Teofimo Lopez.
Yep.
And that could be the situation tonight. That if he doesn't keep his head, Tommy Fury, and he just thinks, I need to knock him out, just to prove a point, that's when it can fall into Jake's hands. So he just needs to be smart. The knockout will come if he just works behind that jab and breaks Jake Paul down, and then he can take him out later on, 4th round, 5th round, even the last round. How many rounds is it?
They're going 8.
8 rounds.
Yeah.
8 rounds. So he's got enough rounds to break Jake Paul down first behind that jab, because I don't think Jake Paul is never gonna. He's never ever would have faced a guy with a solid jab.
Not like that.
A traditional 1-2 down the middle. You know. So that's all he has to do.
Yeah.
That's all he has to do.
Yeah. No, I agree. There's going to be a lot of adjustments Jake's going to have to make here. Like you said, Tommy keeping a cool head. On paper, it does look like it goes one way. You worry about Tommy's, what does he do in the moment? That's the big question. What does he do? But Daley,